Hello everyone, this is going to be the third part to the introduction to exponents. In this lesson we will go over simplifying expressions, and for that we need to use the order of operations. So we're going to go over a few examples. The first one, we have the absolute value. Okay, that's what those bars mean. What that means is that you simply at the very end need to go ahead and provide the positive value. Now, based on order of operations, we need to go ahead and first of all identify any parentheses. Now, the absolute value, they group things together. So inside my absolute value, I have exponents and I have a division. Based on the order of operations, after I take care of any parentheses, I need to look for exponents or roots. In this case, I don't have any roots, but I do have exponents, so I need to take care of that first. So absolute value of negative 3 cubed. So this means negative 3 needs to be repeated as a factor 3 times. So 3 times 3 times 3. And then after that, I need to go ahead and divide by 27. Okay, so I took care of the exponent. Now the next thing is to look for any multiplication or division. So whatever we find first, that's what we're going to do. So we have negative 3 times 3 times 3. So we could go ahead and do all of those multiplications all at once if we want to. Negative 3 times 3, that's going to be a negative 9. And negative 9 times 3 is going to be a negative 27. So this is going to be equal to negative 27 divided by 27. Okay, so we took care of the multiplication. Now the next thing is to do division. And I do have that division here. So negative 27 divided by 27 is going to be a negative 1. Okay, so the absolute value of negative 1. So multiplication, division, that's taken care of. I don't have any addition or subtraction. So the only other thing that I need to do here at the end is that I need to take the absolute value. Again, that means the positive. So if this is negative, the positive of negative 1 is going to be a positive 1. Okay, so it's always going to be the positive. So even if I were to have, and I'm just going to provide this one example here, so negative 1, then the answer is going to be a positive 1. Or if I'd had a positive 2, then the answer would still be a positive 2. So I always want the positive answer for the absolute values. Next, 9 minus 2 to the 5th times 0.5. So we follow the order of operations. We don't have any parentheses. I look for exponents or roots, whichever one comes first from left to right. I do have an exponent here, so I need to take care of it. So I need to do this one first. So 9 minus 2 to the 5th. Okay, we could rewrite this as the product of 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So remember that the power means that you take the base and you repeat it as many times as that exponent tells you. And then after that, we're going to multiply by 0.5. From here, now that we've taken care of the exponent, I need to take care of any roots, which I don't have any. The multiplication, I do have multiplication, so I need to do that one first. So 9 minus 2 times 2 is 4, times 2, 8, times 2, 16, times 2, 32, times 0.5. So I still have one more multiplication, so I need to go ahead and take care of this one too. So 9 minus 32 times 0.5 is going to be equal to 16. So I took care of the multiplication that I had. There was no division. I don't have any additions either. And the one thing I have is a subtraction. So 9 minus 16 is going to be a negative 7. So negative 7 would be my answer. Now here's something else that you could do instead. 9 minus 2 to the 5th times 0.5. So given that we still have to take care of exponents first, then go ahead and simplify what that is, meaning evaluate it. So what is the value of this power 2 to the 5th? So you could go ahead and say for the next step that you're going to have 9 minus 32 times 0.5. Okay, so you don't have to show that extended product, that expanded form that we call it, but this is just to remind you as to what the power means, because later it is going to be very important for us to understand this when we derive a few other properties of exponents. So this is something that I can do, and from here you can go ahead and just do the same exact thing. So 32 times 0.5 is 16, and then at the very end you would still get your same answer, negative 7. Okay, so those are things to consider. And the last one, I have parentheses 20 squared minus 3 cubed times 8 squared, close the parentheses, divided by 16. So I need to go ahead and follow the order of operations. So I need to notice that I do have a parentheses. Now I need to take care of everything that's inside the parentheses. Okay, I have an expression with a few different operations. Now anytime I go inside a parentheses, I need to start over with the order of operations. So I'm going to go ahead and make one more copy of my order of operations so that I can follow that same order inside the parentheses. So the question would be, do I see another parentheses inside my parentheses? The answer is no. Now I need to look for exponents or roots, whichever one comes first. So I do see some exponents, but I don't see any roots. So I'll take care of the exponents. So inside the parentheses, we have 20 squared. So that means 20 times 20. So that would be 400. Minus 3 cubed. So 3 times 3, that's 9. Times 3, that's going to be 27. Times 8 squared. 8 times 8, that's going to be 64. Close the parentheses, and that's going to be divided by 16. So I took care of the exponent. Now, again, still inside the parentheses. Let me do one more thing here. Inside parentheses. Because once again, just to re-emphasize, we're following the order of operations inside the parentheses. And once I'm done with whatever's inside the parentheses, I'll come back to this one. Okay. So multiplication and division, whatever comes first from left to right. I notice that I do have a multiplication, so I will go ahead and take care of that. There's no division inside my parentheses. So let's just rewrite the 400 minus, now I take a calculator, and 27 times 64 is going to be 1,728. And I need to divide by 16. Next thing would be addition or subtraction inside that parentheses. I do have a subtraction, so I will go ahead and take care of it. So 400 minus 1,728, that's going to be negative 1,328. And I will have to divide by 16. So I took care of the order of operation inside the parentheses. Now I need to, outside the parentheses, and ask myself, do I see any exponents? And the answer is no, no exponents. Any roots? No. Any multiplication? No, I do see a division. So I'll go ahead and take care of this one. So I need to go ahead and divide by 16. It's going to give us an answer of negative 83. Okay, and that was it. Obviously, no addition, no subtraction. So keep this in mind. So depending on how many different parentheses you may have, you might need to apply the order of operations to each one of those groupings. Okay, that's why, like I said, here we needed to work with inside the parentheses and apply the order of operations. Once I was done with whatever was inside the parentheses, now I need to follow the main order of operations that I was following outside the parentheses. Okay, so this is something that may sound confusing, but this is just the order that we have to follow in order to make sure that we get the correct answer at the end.